they are like stage 4.
So I mean, not just the different, all different types of diseases, things that can happen as you age, but checking yourself is paramount. It's how you're gonna know. Yep. Can I give you a quick example?
Of course, man.
I used to be afraid of checking my blood pressure, right? Because I passed through a bad anxiety disorder where my blood pressure was spiking all over the place, and it was because of the anxiety, right? But so every time I check my blood pressure, I'd be afraid to. So I started to get nervous. When I get nervous, it's going to show a higher reading.
Of course, yeah.
Right? And we know this. So I bought my own blood pressure monitor, and I was checking it over and over and over. If you want to call it exposure therapy, something I'm afraid of, but doing it anyway, until I realized, just calm down, just relax, But it also led me to do research on how blood pressure, how the body works with blood pressure.
Yes.
It fluctuates.
It can fluctuate.
Right. And then when you go to check your blood pressure, if it is a certain level, right, it doesn't mean that's your actual baseline blood pressure. You got to check it over a period of time so that you will know and take notes.
Yeah.
And if you find something's off, you will know. So, don't be afraid, because I was once afraid, but I took the step, in the right direction because I wanted to ensure that I know what's going on, at least to the point where I can manage. And the thing about blood pressure, it's manageable. Just like sugar, it's manageable. You just have to have that discipline, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because as you mentioned, though, anxiety, you ever saw somebody with anxiety panic attack?
I had panic attacks already. I know what it's like. It mimics a heart attack. It makes you feel like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? My heart's racing.
Because it's only once I ever witnessed that. Huh?
Yeah.
And that was when I was working Science and Technology in St. Augustine for 3 months.
Yeah.
And actually I remember, as I told you, the voice over IP telephone operator.
Yes.
So I used to be right in front there. And I remember the security guard saying, look, a woman crying. And when we looked across, we realized this woman really crying in throat. And I don't know, probably, well, obviously some people, they feel a sense of embarrassment. I don't know if she couldn't say anything or if she didn't want to say anything.
Right.
Because of probably, the embarrassment that was taking place there. And when we went across with her, then, I didn't know what it was because I had never seen it. But then, I heard from the boss at the time. He said when he was small, he used to get it.
Okay.
So then he recognized it as anxiety panic attack.
Yes.
But, it's something like where you have no control of your body and that kind of thing. And she was just there like shaking.
Yeah.
Vibrating, that kind of thing.
Right. It comes on like first it can gradually build. Like it starts, you find it, you feel like your heart beating faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and you wonder if it's gonna stop, The thing about panic attacks, they're usually harmless, right? But you have to know how to deal with it. So there are breathing techniques you can do.
But I remember the boss, the supervisor at the time, was telling her that about the breathing, try and relax and
no, you can't tell a person with a panic attack to try and relax. You have to have that understanding of how the breathing works before it happens. So once you know that, you sort of you try to put that in place. You will all. I think most people who have panic attacks know what to do when it comes on. You do the breathing. You slow down your heart rate with the slow exhales, or you do the box breathing 4x4x4x4. There are different ways you can do it.
But in her case, obviously something that she suffers from, because while she was there, right, she said because really happened is that which was a very good thing they did. Since they realized that because we were working on the OJT department,
right?
And we were just like placing OJTs at the various places that they would like to work. And what we used to do life skill training. That's in St. Augustine, not too far from UWI. We used to do the life skill training, and every 2 weeks or so, we used to take in between 90 and we say about 105 students.
Okay.
Right, to teach them the life skill thing. So she was one of the people who were one of the persons at the time that came in to sign up for the life skill classes. And well, as I said, was a nice thing that they decided to kind of employ her there now. Right, so they could kind of monitor her and whatnot.
Right.
And while she was there, I remember
Panic attack.
Yeah, it happened again. So they had to like, put her in a van, carry her, whatever the case might be, to the Mount Hope or whatever hospital. Right. So I'm saying that because I remember you said that most people who probably are aware of that and suffers with that.
You would know what to do.
Yeah. But apparently
She didn't.
mhm.
Well, I don't know the person that you
Or in terms
referring
of
to, if it really was a panic attack or if it was something else. It wasn't epilepsy, was it?
no, because I believe epilepsy is something like where you start to beat up
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
fall on the floor.
yeah.
No, she was just like sitting there
Yeah.
and she was crying and apparently like just kind of like shaking kind of thing or whatever.
Oh my
And obviously like
that-
she didn't
that
have no
sounds-
control of herself, in terms of her body.
that
yeah.
sounds like something else.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Yeah, that sounds a little weird. but whatever it is, was she able to get over it? Do you know?
Well, after the if I remember, well, I think the first time she was able to kind of like get over it with the people around her and advising her and whatever,
Yeah.
with people who might be aware of what's taking place.
Right.
Because we're wondering if it's a panic attack and anxiety panic attack.
No, anxiety.
It's the
attack-
same thing?
No, it's not exactly the same thing.
Uh-huh.
I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I think
Uh-huh.
one of them, it just starts coming on gradually, but it builds up. So your heart rate starts to build faster and faster and faster. And I think the other one, it just starts beating really, really fast all at once.
Well, that's the reason why I ask you.
Yeah.
Because I believe probably she must have had the other one.
Yeah, there are two of them. I think the anxiety attack is it just comes on, or the panic attack, it gradually builds. But they're both similar.
Yeah. And while I was there, I remember observing, I learned a lot of things and saw a lot of things for the first time.
Yeah.
I also heard about schizophrenia.
Oh no, you see that one? Yeah,
While I was
that's
there, I
a
remember they
serious
were-
one. But the thing is that it's very difficult to diagnose someone with schizophrenia. It's hard to say, okay, that's what it is. We might think we know, but that's a tough one.
What really happened that she was one of the life skills students.
Yeah.
And while we were in front, we got calls, these kind of frantic calls from some of the students.
Yeah.
But listen, there's something taking place with people, and some woman there, a young person probably could be about 23, 24, somewhere around there. So I remember the security and we ran down to the back of the back of the building.
Yeah.
The last class now. And then we observed this person and everybody was kind of like shunning her and running from her and that kind of thing. Because, she had some kind of weird movements, that Eve Marks, her good friend,
Yeah.
because she had a friend there. It
Was
showed
she
up.
like aggressive?
No, she wasn't aggressive. But some kind of weird movements, and like she would dip and like she kind of like drift here and then she'd drift on that side. And I asked the friend, I said, well, isn't she a Baptist? Because
Yeah.
when she came outside,
Like
now,
she was catching powers or something.
right, something similar like that.
Yeah.
And I came from a Baptist background myself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a Baptist, but believe my real people in my family are Baptist.
Right.
Hence the reason why I asked the
Right.
friend if she was a Baptist.
Okay.
And then the friend said, well, no.
Okay.
And after speaking to the friend, then I realized, well, a good thing too, I used to communicate with Dr. Gilal. He did some real, he's the kind of person, he had his number.
Okay.
And you could just call him, and he did some, very good work as far as advising me and various people on various things.
Yes.
So I called him, and when I called him, because he was the only person I could call at the time, because nobody really sure what was really taking place.
Right.
And when I explained to him what was happening, then he told me, well, listen, that's schizophrenia. He said that,
Nah, you can't just say
that
that's.
you
You can't just say that's
Hold on.
schizophrenia. Just, sorry. Right.
yeah. Yeah. Well, he being a doctor, he will act for certain signs, right? I can't remember exactly what I told him.
Yeah.
And then he said to me, he said, well, listen, he said, there's nothing you all could do for her. You all have to take that to Mount Hope or the nearest hospital.
Okay.
Because what he was saying is, that they have to take their pills. There are certain pills that they take.
Yeah.
And if they don't take that,
Trip out.
yeah, there's nothing you can do. So you
Yeah.
have to carry it. So, we have to put it in the van and carry it.
I have a different train of thought there.
Uh-huh.
Right, from a spiritual perspective.
All right.
Same thing you were talking about with the Baptist faith, and that can happen. Yeah, there's spiritual interference. Possession that happens, and people might say, "Whoa," but it's true. It's for real. I have seen people who have been possessed. The enormous strength and the sound that comes
I've seen
from them.
it too. I've seen it too.
And I was a child, and I would never forget. You know,
Because my godmother
so
was
that can happen as well.
my godmother is what you call a healer woman,
Yeah.
see a woman kind of
Oh,
thing.
that's cool.
You know,
I think that's pretty cool.
and since I was a little boy,
Yeah.
she was the kind of person, you know, she had a mother in the Baptist faith,
Right.
big all over the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I mean, every year they would send for her different countries in the Caribbean to hold a pilgrimage and that kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
And since
She has some powers.
yeah, well, she has it because people from all over the country
Yeah.
used to come and she had a church and long lines are you talking about, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Long lines. And for many years are you talking about her.
Right.
You know, so then I guess from what I heard from people, she was very, very good.
Okay.
You see?
All right.
So, and that was one of the things I remember when you spoke about that. I remember they brought a lady and they said that she was spiritually possessed. And they tend to be extremely powerful when they're that way.
Tell me about
Usually it will take like about 3-4 people to really
Yeah,
hold on that one person.
I'll tell you a story just
And
now.
in the same way,
Yeah.
that same kind of and sometimes the voice that you hear like all the shit
Yeah.
woman, they sound like a man.
Yeah, I'm saying you're hearing 3 different voices in one.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah,
so you know what I'm talking about.
and I'm not talking about a horror movie that I watch. I'm talking about witnessing this with my own 2 eyes. And it was in a church.
And if the kind of voice that you wondering if that voice coming from that person.
Yep. I've seen a person literally spew a liquid from his mouth, and it was just a weird green color, and it just went flying across. This is not a horror movie. I've seen this. And then he took one of the church pews with one hand and just shoved it across the next side of the church. So, I mean, you're watching this, and those church pews aren't light.
Yes.
Okay? And then it took about 2 or 3, huge priests came in because we were in Mount St. Benedict.
All right, yeah.
So up in the Abbey. And then they came in and they just took him up and carried him, and what's going on here, So I witnessed all of that. It was horrific, but
because usually when you deal with these kind of people, from
I
what
know
was
that it
told,
happens.
Usually when you deal with these kind of people, from what I was told,
Yeah.
any and anybody cannot really like
No, you
touch them,
can't.
you know.
Well,
You have to be a kind of gifted kind
they
of
were
person.
able to. They were able to. But
because they being Baptist,
yeah,
that the people based on
you
their order
you're
and that
ordained
kind of
and you
thing,
have that power. Yeah,
right? Who could really handle them?
correct.
Because I remember as little children, we went and like trying to peep the scene.
Yeah,
And when they realized what was going on, they
bust it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They
No, it's
all
scary, especially
chased
for a
us.
child. Yeah,
They chased us because what they were saying is,
it will stay with you.
right, if the demon, whenever the demon come out from the person,
Yeah,
it could also enter somebody
looking for
else.
somewhere to go. Yeah.
And that was one of the things.
People don't like to talk about these things. It's like taboo. It's scary, but you can't avoid the truth and what is really going on, and that it's a spiritual battle going on, right?
Because I mean, it's everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people in this country and around the world, if you believe in God, you believe in some spirituality.
Right,
And
exactly.
then you have to believe in good and bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right?
Definitely.
Because, I mean, in Christianity, a lot of people believe in heaven and hell, and they believe in God, and they believe in the devil, and all of that. And if you believe in the devil, as you know, a lot of people all over the world tend to believe, then, these kind of things can happen. And I remember just recently, I was speaking about somebody I was talking either yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was talking to somebody about that same thing, right? As you're speaking about the spiritual thing, where there was a guy, he had some position in my lot, and he was saying that while he was addressing a class, one of the guys called him, and the guy showed him a tattoo, lift up the jersey and showed him a tattoo.
Yeah.
And what he
I
was
remember
saying,
you were telling me about this. Yeah.
I mentioned that to you already.
Yeah. Let's hear it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say it again because it's very important for people to understand the level of criminality you're dealing with. What the guy was saying is the guy told him that he wanted to make a change. He wanted to change his lifestyle. But then the guy raised his jersey and showed him a tattoo on his body and told him that tattoo was placed there. In other words, then he getting orders through that tattoo to go and kill people. And what he explained to the gentleman is that the level of criminality now is such that these people in with money, probably the big time gangster, the big time drug man, whoever the case might be, they'll go and pay spiritualists in order to mount, they call mount the person. So they'll mount criminals or mount gunmen, whoever the case might be, via tattoos or whatever the case might be. And according to what the man was saying, through the tattoo, he will get these kind of inspiration to go and kill people.
Yeah. Yeah, I firmly believe that as well. The thing is that even okay, so let's sort of turn to from a biblical perspective,
Yeah,
right?
from a biblical
Right.
perspective.
So there's a part in the Bible that says we were living in the 5 days of darkness, right? The 5 days of darkness where demons would roam the earth and just taking apart society,
Yes,
or at least trying to. And we've seen that. We've seen that within recent times. A lot of heinous crimes and children involved and all sorts of different things. And what you're talking about with the mounting of the person is that's quote unquote the demons.
Because sometimes you hear people say you're not
That are out
wrestling.
there.
As you hear a lot of believers saying, you're not wrestling with flesh.
Correct.
but,
Exactly.
powers and principality or powers.
Goes right back to what I was
put
saying
it.
about being a spiritual battle. And the 5 days don't have to represent 5 literal days on earth. It could be 5 years, it could be 50 years, it could be whatever. But we're living in these times,
A very deep conversation, my very deep
Yeah, boy, I
conversation.
didn't expect that. But, I'm glad to talk about it as well because people need to be aware and be reminded, just do good. Yeah.
But then again, they have to be aware of the spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
Because even yesterday I was watching a video, and I'm sure that you're aware there is this perspective around that the same thing that we're talking about, but it is happening on a global scale. Right? There are
Yes.
certain people or certain organizations actually that operating on that level. Good. And there are some people who believe that COVID was a trial.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
And that
I
human beings-
believe that too.
Yeah, and that human beings, as we all know, are being replaced by robots. And that is the intention eventually.
That's our next deep conversation right there. That is a really deep conversation. Yeah, but I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, yeah.
And that these things are purposely done
Yeah.
to replace
yeah,
human
yeah,
beings,
Yeah.
by certain powerful people.
I have read, about that agenda,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just about time for the news, is it?
Yeah, I think we should get into the news now. Take a little break
The
there.
next thing you know, we forget.
Right. So news at 2:00, and we shall return inside Beyond Limits.
This is TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
All right, here comes your news update at 2:00 on Talk City. Police and other state entities are expected to continue their transport service ferrying commuters from City Gate today. This as state transport officials say they had already put contingency plans in place prior to this week's travel disruption caused by the reduced availability of maxi taxi services. PTSC General Manager, retired Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Gomez, says the corporation moved quickly to strengthen its fleet operations, particularly along the east-west corridor where commuter traffic has been heaviest. Mr. Gomez said preparations began over the weekend, with buses serviced to ensure they were road ready for the work week. He added that additional focus was placed on the priority bus route, where demand was expected to be highest. Additionally, the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and other state institutions are expected to contribute buses and maxis today to provide commuters with safe alternatives. Well, 2 monstrances were stolen from St. Mary's RC Church in Mucurapo during a break-in early on Tuesday morning, just days before the celebration of Corpus Christi. Parish priest Father Emmanuel Peyer said he encountered the intruder shortly after arriving at the church about 5:15 a.m. to prepare for the 6:15 Mass. He noticed the sacristy had been ransacked and discovered the 2 gold-plated items were missing. After turning on the lights, he saw a person in a white overall inside the church, shouted at the suspect who fled through a side door and escaped in a waiting vehicle on the nearby hospital compound. The intruders also tried to remove the tabernacle but abandoned it on the church floor when the priest arrived. The scheduled morning mass was cancelled as police responded and collected evidence. Officials say the stolen items are valued at approximately $15,000 and will need to be replaced before Corpus Christi. St. James Police are continuing inquiries. And residents of Blanchisseuse have welcomed the acquisition of a Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series off-roader by the North Central Regional Health Authority for use as a mobile emergency response unit. According to the NCRHA, the vehicle forms part of its ongoing efforts to improve healthcare delivery across the region. Residents expressed appreciation for the new unit, noting that it is well suited to the rugged and mountainous terrain along the North Coast Road. Blanchisseuse, located about 24 kilometers north of Arima, has a population of approximately 1,400 and is a popular destination for visitors. The NCRHA said the addition of the Mobile Emergency Response Unit reflects the commitment of its board and executive management to improving the patient care experience in the region. The Blanchisseuse Health Facility operates from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on weekdays and from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekends and public holidays. In sport, legendary footballer and former manager Sir Kenny Dalglish has revealed he is undergoing treatment for cancer. The 75-year-old confirmed the diagnosis after what he described as an inadvertent social media post. Dalglish, Scotland's most capped player and joint all-time top scorer with 30 goals in 102 appearances, asked for privacy for himself and his family while thanking medical staff for their care. The former Liverpool and Celtic great enjoyed a glittering career, scoring 167 goals in 320 appearances for Celtic between 1969 and 1977, winning 4 league titles and 4 Scottish Cups before becoming a club icon at Liverpool. Now for the weather, this afternoon will be mainly sunny, hazy and breezy. Despite the brisk isolated shower, tonight is expected to be fair but hazy with a gentle breeze. A moderate to high concentration of Saharan dust is present in the atmosphere. Seas remain moderate with waves 2 meters in near open waters and 1 to 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. News and weather to 2 o'clock here on Talk City 91.1 FM.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Join Roland Stewart
Oh, yes,
At least on terrestrial radio. Yeah.
All right? Because this person is one of them, many of them who will view things on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Right here. So if the person is hearing me, they're having a problem on YouTube. Good. So for those who people may be watching on YouTube, we may be experiencing some problem with the audio and the transmission on YouTube. Hopefully that might be just for today.
Well, it was happening yesterday too.
Yeah, because I remember I sent out, what they call it, to one of the station manager, because what I observed the day before yesterday, at least the first 10 minutes or so, there was no audio.
Right.
You know, it was only after about 10 minutes or so. That's when I had the guy from Wassa, remember the guy in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the first 10 minutes or so, there was no audio.
Yeah. Little kinks that has to be worked out.
Yeah. So hopefully people, we are working in it. For those of you who are listening, we are working in it, and we hope that we get things sorted out. Yes, what I was saying, there was this other guy, he was outside there, he did business. He was telling me he had children to mine and he had bills to pay. And he was asking who to pay it for him, if the Maxi Taxi Association will pay the bills.
Yes.
Because he has insurance, and according to him, he has to pay his insurance by today. So he, even though probably by himself or what the case might be, he wasn't really supporting any protest.
Yeah. We have a call coming in here.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Alec. And, my neighbor is there.
Yes.
Hey, bro.
Roland, man.
Patrick
Roland
Billy, man.
Stewart.
Patrick Billy, man. Of course,
How
man.
are you
Welcome.
going? I'm out in Tobago. Actually, I'm in Tobago. We are about to celebrate 7901. We're celebrating 47 years
Wow.
of knowing each other since we joined the army.
Very nice.
You know?
Congratulations.
And, we think it was very, important to come and, reenact and have a little food to eat and something to drink and, and just speak about those many years, passing through when we had the 1990 insurrections,
Yes.
and all those things, and we stand in defense of Trinidad and Tobago, and we'll do it anytime, maybe even out of being in the army, along the callers and the musters, defend this country, we'll do it, because this is a beautiful, beautiful country. Roland, I just want to say, I'm watching the news, and I think I want to use this opportunity, Alex, to really congratulate the Commissioner of Police and his men in doing, a noble thing in transporting the less fortunate in this country. Even the differently able personnel who might be outside there, and school children who might be doing the exams at this time, So I want to really commend the Commissioner of Police and his men. When watching the news last night at the guest house, it really made my pulse raise when I saw the Commissioner was leading his troops in making sure, as he said, that these people get home safely. And I just want to say in closing, Alex, we know these ways, negotiation, money didn't start yesterday. I consider it because we've following up the Maxi Taxi doing a service, and they ought to be paid. So I would just like the Minister of Transport, right, to go around the table and with the association, the president and them, and the representative of those people, and work it out, right? The people should go there at least with the cup half full, and forget the egos and all these different things, and work it out. Because at the end of the day, is the less fortunate and the people who suffer the most. So I want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to vent what I feel about the situation and to give me the opportunity in calling on my batch of them of 1979, first of March, when we joined the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment.
Nice.
Thank you very, very much, and God continue to bless this station, bless this program, and all who comes after you all to do the different program. Thank you all very much.
Yes, sir.
Yo, Patrick Billy, I did send out the shout out for you earlier on. I don't know if you heard it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
I didn't forget it. All right. Thank you very much for calling.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thank you very much for calling.
And keep up the good work. Congratulations to you. It's great to hear from Mr. Billy.
Now, in some of the issues, I don't know if it's true, but I came across it on social media. Some of the issues that they say the maxi taxi people would like to be addressed or like to see addressed is one, refusal to increase the current speed limit from 67 kilometers.
Yeah.
Because I know I saw on social
Why
media.
you want to drive so fast?
What I just said. 65 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, you're toting passengers. And then on top of that, too, sometimes you have to remember people used to complain about the speed maxi taxis used to be traveling, especially on that priority bus route.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you remember, sometimes you have people, a lot of maxi taxi drivers, they how to put it? They hustling, right? And
yes, of
when they're
course.
transporting people, because you're trying to make the most money, and I can understand why you're trying to make money, but then sometimes at the same time you have to consider the speed that you're going at.
Correct.
Because they are always the inconsiderate ones.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying that only maxi taxi drivers like that, but they are always the inconsiderate drivers who drive recklessly because they're trying to make the extra dollar and that kind of thing, and put people's life at stake. So that is something that we are looking at. Point number 2, they're saying that the rapid increase of the illegal white buses currently plying routes designated for solid ban maxis.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You realize that
Read that one more time.
the refusal of the licensing office to ensure that the legal no, that's number 3. Hold on. The rapid increase of the illegal white buses currently plying routes designated for solid ban maxis. Well, based on what I read on another one,
Yeah.
they're referring to the white vans now. I want to believe.
Oh, okay. The bread vans?
Well, yeah, there are these kind of white vans. I've seen them on the Marval routes.
Oh, those. Okay. Yes. I've seen those. Oh, all right. All right. I got you. There was another call coming in here.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you two auspicious gentlemen in the studio there.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you very much, man.
Move on your line and
Hey,
enjoy
move
the
on.
program.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, and I thank you for the stuff you give to me.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, well, my daughter and them started making things with it one
Oh,
time.
great. I like that. Congratulations. And you're welcome.
That's the boy daddy, let me chow this thing.
Yes.
But to on a more serious note, these panel vans and them, I must complain, sir, because they're very dangerous in the sense that one almost killed me.
Okay.
I wouldn't lie and just to make up this for fun's sake.
Okay.
I stand up on the corner of Charlotte and this was Charlotte Street. It couldn't be Park Street. Charlotte Street, and I come out the gas station. Something locked my foot on the pedal, Alex. And my foot wouldn't move. And I died in front of the car that is coming down, because they're up and a down.
Yeah.
And there was this panel van coming right down on that would be the left side going up, like we going up to the hospital. Bust my light.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and twist my bumper, and the man didn't stop at all.
Oh, they did stop.
I
Yeah.
said, thank you, Lord Jesus.
Yeah. There are a
Thank
lot
you,
of
thank
dishonest
you.
people out there, too.
Yeah, but thanks to the police and everybody who making a big effort, and we could always have people in the national security ministry who could take like a 2-hour course and drive those buses once they have a heavy tea, and you're working on any one of the ministries. So in the next time when we have this kind of situation going on, we don't have to look too deep to get that kind of help we want, like take police off the jobs and things. Because we have a lot of heavy tea drivers in this place.
You're right
And we
about
could
that.
extend the olive branch to come out and help us. You know what I mean? And so in the future, those in authority, you could use an olive branch to these kind of people and move our lockdown and listening. Thank you, Alex.
Right.
Big
You're
time.
welcome. Yeah, man.
Thank you very much, caller, for calling.
Minister, yeah, man. Thank you.
All right, Move. All the best to you and the family, okay? Thanks for calling in. Good contribution.
Very good, great contribution, man. Yeah, so as I continue here, right, I'll read out some of the considerations. Point number 3, they're saying the refusal of the licensing office to ensure that the legal limit of persons to be transported in vehicles, van registered P and T, be carried out.
Okay.
So they're complaining about vans in terms of, whether they're P or T.
Yeah.
Good.
Private or truckload.
Right, so they want the licensing office to deal with that. Point number 4, the refusal by the relevant authorities to ensure that illegal white vans, good vehicles, and private vehicles stop parking on the Marval taxi stand. You should know Marval taxi stand. It used, I'm not sure if it's still there, but I know it used to be on George and Duke Street. Just at the past Duke
I
Street,
can't answer that question.
on the left hand side.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Possible.
because the Marval taxi stand, I don't know if it's still there, but it used to start from there, go straight around to the from Duke and George onto Duke Street.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really surprised and I used to see some white vans that work the Marval route. So the
Okay.
maxi taxis and them are saying, well, they don't like that. They don't like the white vans and them, like,
Right.
And then
Grievances, man.
and then the good vehicles, vehicles that park up offloading things for the supermarkets.
Yeah,
and
you
these
see,
kind of thing.
that I have a serious problem with that too.
We'll see.
I know they need to, but I mean, not during rush hour traffic now. Okay, you'll do that anything after hours.
So these are some of the things. Others, they're saying that the steady increase of the PH industry. The relevant authorities continue to turn a blind eye to this issue. Please note, we do empathize with the volume of employment faced in the nation. However, there are channels for persons to reclassify their vehicles from P to H. Right, so they have a problem
Yeah.
with the P vehicles.
Right.
Those work in PH. What they're saying is that if you want to work and you want to think, well, all right,
Carry you stand.
turn your car from the P to the H.
Right.
Right. Point number 6, they're asking, due to the growing number of the white vans, these vehicles have begun to pull up on legitimate maxi and taxi stands to solicit passengers.
Okay.
So the same white van as I said on thing they call it. Point number 7, these illegal white vans not subject to the inspection that is required by the licensing authorities, and as such, they actually put the traveling public at risk. So there's an inspection issue. Point number 8, the constant promotion by police officers and media houses to refer to illegal white vans as maxi taxis, thus placing a stigma on our industry.
Right.
So they're saying that police officers and media houses tend to usually refer to these white vans as maxi taxis. And the genuine maxi taxi drivers don't like that.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
I can understand that point.
Yeah.
Right, point number 9. Here the kind of things, the real points. The authorization of the use of illegal white vans, even by the TTPS, as was seen in the accident of a van in the vicinity of the Brian Lara Stadium after a Carnival Fete.
Okay.
So they're saying that some of these, even officers, police officers. Point number 10. The current harassment of maxi taxis while driving through St. James with regard to pick up and drop off for passengers. Please note that there are no official pick up and drop off points on major roadways, and vehicles are parked on both sides of the streets. So they're talking about they tend to be harassed in terms of when they're dropping off and picking up passengers
Okay.
in St. James. Good. And they're saying that that the vehicles that park on both sides, because they're saying there are vehicles that are parked on both sides of the streets.
All right.
So which means the chances are, I guess what they're alluding to is sometimes they may have to stop kind of in the middle of the road, as maxi taxis
Yeah, we've seen
tend to
that.
do. Because what they're saying is that because of vehicles being parked on both sides of the streets in St. James. Good.
Right.
11.
There's more. Okay.
Even see. Oh, good. Well,
We gotta
probably
finish the rest
I'll have
tomorrow.
I'll have to finish the rest tomorrow. All right, just 11.
Yeah.
Because we just look into rounds of the program.
Okay.
Point number 11: the legal parking of private cars on maxi stands.
Okay.
I can understand that.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's a taxi stand, right?
Maxi taxi stands.
Maxi taxi stand. Sorry. Yeah.
Right. So they're saying that the illegal parking of private.
So
vehicles,
people do that.
Yeah.
Really?
Sometimes.
We're really silly in this place, you know.
They're not saying H vehicles, but they're saying.
I know private vehicles.
vehicles.
Yeah, like I just want to hey, let me just pull up on any taxi stand quickly, any maxi taxi stand. They're on strike, so I go down and park here.
All right. Let me just wrap up the program with point number 12. Drop-off/pickup zones for schools in Port au Prince where services are required for maxi taxis.
Yeah.
But vehicles are parked in front of their schools.
Oh yeah. Okay. People
You
do
understand
that.
that one? All right. So I'll just leave it at point number 12.
Okay.
For today, all right? So
Yes.
we have come with now, 2:30, so we have come to the end of the program.
Yeah.
And until tomorrow, let me just let people know tomorrow we're supposed to be having the former chairman. He'll be here every Wednesday until, whatever. That will be the former chairman of Diego Martin Regional Corporation.
Right.
Former lecturer of John Lee,
What's his name again?
Mr. Sigler Jack.
Sigler Jack. Yeah, he was here
Sigler
before.
Jack.
Sigler Jack.
Yeah, he was here last week, Wednesday. And there are so many things to discuss and so much aspects of life. Mass, you were the judge, you were on the NCC board for many of years. You were the carnival judge for many a year too as well. So when it comes to carnival thing and all these kind of things, you really a lot of knowledge about that. Judging sports too. I remember the vice president of the secondary football league.
Yes.
Also 15 years on the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association board. TITFA. So when it comes to sports and all these kind of things, he's really into that.
Excellent.
Right? And that's just some of the things. Twice-time president of Rotary Lions Club, Port au Prince. He was the president on 2 occasions too and all of that. So this man have a lot of knowledge to share.
Correct.
Okay, people. So until tomorrow, you do have a beautiful afternoon. This is Roland Stewart signing off.
Thank you very much, Roland. Until tomorrow, please God, enjoy the rest of your day. Let's take a break. And then on 3 o'clock, it's Under the Radar with David and Heavy. And just reminding you, the YWCA in collaboration with the NWRHA and their amazing partners, they're inviting you and your family to their Community Health Fair this Saturday at 25 Alexandra Street in St. Clair from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Free basic health screenings, vaccinations available, mental health support, eye testing with Quartz Optical, wellness tips with Dr. Simone Kwamina, Bryden PI featuring CeraVe skincare goodies. Hope I pronounced that right. So, and then there's more. Neil and Massey Credit Union representatives will be there pre-approving new members on site. And there's so much more. Soca cardio as well. You can come comfortably dressed for the workout at 11 a.m. So it's going down this Saturday at 25 Alexandra Street in St. Clair from 9 in the morning to 2 p.m. The YWCA, together with the NWRHA and partners, inviting you to the Community Health Fair this Saturday. Okay, stay tuned. It's Talk City.
The world's greatest football tournament is here, and
why everybody coming by my house?
Dad, you serious? We have Digicel Plus and Rush Sports. What do you expect?